Let me show you something. Sorry guys, I had to break out the inner fire marshal Bill. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to be talking about a really cool little pistol caliber carbine today. Let's get to it. This is a Flint River Armory CSA45. Let's have a look at it. All right, well that was a lot of fun. You guys are probably familiar with a lot of the AR variants that are coming out on the market. It seems like everybody and their mama has some form of AR coming out, and I know they're really common and everything like that, but this is something that I thought would merit a really special look. This is a CSA45. It has some very AR-like features to it. If you're familiar with an AR, obviously there's some ergonomics about it that are very similar, like fire control, the safety's in the same place, the bolt stop is located in the same place, you've got interchangeable grips with AR-15s, but that's really about where the buck stops. This is a short stroke piston operated 45 caliber carbine, which is really interesting. There's really not any other gun like this on the market. So instead of being a blowback, you have a short stroke gas piston. It makes for a very smooth recoil impulse. It makes the system a lot smoother in terms of fouling. You're not going to get as much gas blow by into the action, so it makes the gun run cleaner for longer. This gun actually has a rotating bolt head, so when you look at the bolt carrier, I mean that little bolt just rotates right into the locking lug. So it has a rotating bolt, which is really cool. 45 ACP right now. Eventually they're going to be offering these in like a couple of other calibers, 9mm, probably 40 cal, 10mm. That stuff's kind of down the pipeline. For now, they figured they'd tackle the 45. It does utilize proprietary magazines. Some folks may not like that feature, but they opted to design a special magazine along with the gun. Because of the way that the rotating bolt works in this particular gun, they opted for their own particular magazine just to really get that reliability where they wanted it. The barrels come threaded 5/78 by 28, which is great for running suppressors if you so wish. The lower of the gun is really one of the most interesting points of the way that this firearm is designed. You can see this is one giant piece of machined 6061, so it's literally big old rugged piece of aluminum. I mean, it's just super, super rugged. And really you would think that it would be heavy. It's really not a heavy gun at all. Now this is an SBR, but they offer it in a pistol as well as a 16.5-inch barreled rifle, all with the same thread pitches, obviously, that I mentioned earlier. If you need some kind of special thread, they can do them for you, but they all come 5/78 by 28, which is not a problem. We got this one topped off with a little EOTech. They can do them in a variety of different colors, which is pretty cool. We're going to run this thing a little bit here, have some fun. I don't know if anything would be as fun as those road flares and spray paint cans, but let's take out some sodas. This is such an easy optic to shoot with both eyes open. These little EOTechs are great for that. I'm actually drawing these magazines from some Kydex from Red Eye Tactical. You guys probably see their Kydex right there. You know, they were able to mold them some special Kydex for their magazines. Real good retention, working really fine for me there. We're running a variety of different ammo. We got some Hush from Freedom here, Freedom Munitions Hush, and we're running a little bit of just Winchester. We're going to shoot a little bit of steel here. Sorry, got a little carried away there. I had to do that. AR-15 trigger packs pretty much are going to drop in this across the board no matter what. So if you've got Geisley trigger you want to run, Fostech Echo, Elfman, Timney, pretty much whatever you want in the way of triggers, you're going to be able to do that. The construction of this gun is pretty interesting. It really doesn't break down like a standard AR-15. You don't have a rear charging handle like you end up seeing on a lot of AR-15s. This one has a reciprocating bolt handle on the left side of the action. To field strip the gun, it's really easy. Just pop the charging handle out, which I'm not going to do, but you pop the charging handle out. I did it. I lied. And then this rear takedown pin pushes out, and then the bolt just drops out of the rear. The construction of the bolt mechanism is pretty dang interesting. You guys are probably familiar with like an AR-15 that has a staked gas key on it. What they did with their carrier is all of that is one machine component. So because it's a short stroke gas piston assembly, it allows that piston to just actuate against that big massive carrier, and it makes for a very, very smooth and deliberate recoil impulse. The firing pin on the bolt is spring loaded, so you don't have to worry about slam fires. That was one thing that, you know, obviously because the people that developed this gun have a military background, so they knew that slam fires are a problem sometimes in some of the older designs. So they opted for a spring-loaded firing pin to help prevent any kind of slam fires or anything from occurring. The gas block on this gun is awesome the way it's made. So the gas block actually functions as, in a way, a barrel nut. Now there is a shoulder on the barrel that they wrench down, they torque down this nut to hold the barrel in place, but the barrel band that actually holds the rail system on serves as the gas block as well. So if you see the way it's constructed, you can just take these 3 screws down and the whole front end pops right off for cleaning. You can toss it in the ultrasonic or do whatever you want to do. Pretty cool overall. It's just a different type of gun that you don't see every day, and these guys got a lot of really interesting press. Like this year at SHOT Show, they had tons of people coming over to the booth and kind of checking this thing out. When they approached me about wanting to get this thing in a video, at first I was kind of like, well, it's probably just another AR, but then when I got to looking a little closer, I realized that they got something really special going on here. So there's things about it that will appeal to the standard AR kind of guy, because you got obviously all the familiar controls that you expect in terms of operating an AR. If you know how to run an AR, then you know how to run this. But that's really where it stops. The rest of it is very proprietary and I think pretty dang cool. Fresh mags. All right, let's shoot some more. And I tell you what, I just can't get away from just running this thing fast. I'm gonna go for some speed here. Not bad. All right, let's lob in a couple at like 40 to 70 yards back there. There's headshots there at 40. I mean, that right there, I wasn't even trying. And I stacked about 4 shots right on top of each other on the face of that D28 from shoot steel there at about 40 yards. Real accurate. Not too bad there. You know, a lot of folks associate a shorter barrel in a gun like this. They think, oh, well, longer barrel is going to be more accurate and everything like that. I mean, yeah, longer barrels give you more velocity, but the thing about a short barrel that I like is the fact that it's actually more rigid. So despite the fact that you don't get the velocity gains that you're going to get in a longer barrel, you have a short, rigid barrel that doesn't flex, and it doesn't really have those barrel harmonics that can throw off shots. So those short, stumpy barrels on handguns, and this is, an SBR, but this in pistol form, like this one, you're not really getting that type of flex in the barrel. It makes the barrel really rigid, and you get really good accuracy. So short barrels in pistol calibers tend to shoot better. In fact, if you look at a lot of the work that they've done with things like Thompsons, like back in the day, Julian Hatcher did a bunch of testing with Thompsons, and he did testing of like the deluxes with the long barrels, and he did testing of like the commando size ones, the short Thompsons, and he actually found that you're really not getting any major velocity gains with a longer barrel because all that powder's burning up before it leaves the barrel anyway. So all the accuracy potential and velocity potential you're getting is going to be consumed in a short barrel regardless. And that's one of the beauties of 45 is it's a big old heavy bowling ball that's just going out of there nice and slow, and you're running fast powders, and you can really get that powder to just be burned up before it leaves the barrel. And the way this thing picks up gas, it makes for a really, really smooth recoil impulse, and you're not really getting any issues there. So pretty cool so far. We're gonna run it a little bit more, and I tell you what, this is boring right here, boring in terms of it's so accurate it's boring. We're gonna go up the hill and lob some in at long range just for fun because, you know, we like to do that. I mean, what more does it need to do? You know, another thing I didn't really mention either is that because of the way this lower receiver is designed on this gun, it's really, really rigid. I mean, it's just a really rigid gun. You can really beat the crap out of things with it. So for guys, let's just say police use or military use, something like that would be, I imagine, a pretty strong selling point of a gun like this. And also, you know, just the way that people are. I mean, as a civilian, doesn't matter who you are, whether you're military, law enforcement, or civilian, this is just a great gun, even just as a ranch gun, like hanging out with a Polaris or something like that and riding around checking the fence line. This is a great type of gun to just be able to, you know, grab on the four-wheeler and go, especially in an SBR configuration like this. Even if you ran a pistol, like we have here, I haven't shot it yet, but this is basically the same gun in a pistol configuration. We'll talk about that in 1 second here. Not bad, not bad. I want to mention a little bit of something about the pistol configuration. So with the pistol configuration, the way this one is set up, you can see they took that same machining from the lower and they just kind of turned it down in order to work with like a little slip-on bikini type pistol tube cover. What they're probably going to end up doing, now don't hold me to this, but this is something we were discussing with them at some point, they'll eventually make this like basically an AR castle nut, so you can just swap out whatever type of AR buffer tube you want in the future. So that way, for some of you guys that are looking at this like, wow, that's an awesome SBR project, you can buy it as a pistol, take it out, run it, do whatever you're gonna do, form it, and then when your form comes back, swap-a-roo, and you're good to go, and you got a regular type of stock. The way that the stock on this gun is designed, it is a proprietary stock because of the way that their receiver section is designed. But I imagine that some more modularity will come to the system in the future, possibly. What they were going for with this is just extreme, extreme ruggedness. I mean, you can see, I mean, that is a big mass of material right there, and you would think that it would be overly heavy, but it's not. One thing they were looking for in this was balance. They wanted a really well-balanced gun that would not be front heavy or rear heavy, but would just have a good balance when loaded. And I think they really accomplished that. You can see that the gun is delivering the goods up close, no problem, with almost boring regularity. Tell you what, we're gonna run up the hill. Let's lob a few shots in, kind of long range, have a little fun with the gun, see how it does out to, you know, a couple of 100 yards, maybe even 300 yards. Let's do it. All right, guys, we're gonna run the Flint River Armory CSA45 here from a little bit longer range. We're gonna be shooting in between 100 and 300 yards, kind of putting it out to some obscene distances. This is definitely not self-defense range. We were actually kind of commenting about that earlier. A gun like this is perfect for like 50 to 100 yard self-defense work. We're gonna do a video pretty soon where we're gonna talk about PDWs and what we feel their intended purposes are, so stay tuned for that. This is definitely outside of PDW range, but since it is such a new gun, and anytime we get a pistol caliber carbine out, we like to take it out to some kind of longer ranges and everything like that, so we're definitely gonna do that here. Earlier I was talking a little bit about barrel lengths and differences in velocities and everything like that. You know, bear in mind, I was talking about Julian Hatcher's work, and that work is rather old, although a good read. There's probably been more precise testing done. If you take something like a little 165 or 185 grain bullet, especially with these modern powders that we've got, believe me, the longer barrel is going to give you some more velocity. Certainly not trying to say that that's not the case, but with the 230s, man, it's just great to launch them out of these short barrels. Nobody's gonna want to catch one of these regardless of the barrel length, just to make that clear. They're moving nice and slow. We've got some Freedom Hush here, It's actually just some regular old 45 ammo. It's optimized for suppressor use, but it's pretty much standard velocity 45 ammo. You know, all 45 ACP is subsonic by nature. Unless you start getting light on the bullets and pushing them up above the cracking of the sound barrier, then obviously they'll be a little louder. But most off-the-shelf 45 ammo is going to be subsonic out of a suppressor. Now, in this video, we've only been running the SBR here, but in a future video, we're going to be doing some more work with the pistol and everything like that. So let's give it a try. That mag well, mag seat nice and tight. All right, you ready?
Yeah, you're gonna go for 100 and walk out?
Yeah, why not?
All right, run it. You about a foot below the target. You hit the protection plate. One more time. Your elevation's good. You're missing about 2 inches off the left side of the plate. There you go, right in the head. Left side of the plate again. There you go. You're hitting in the top shoulder there in the left. Right over the shoulder on the left. Head. There you go.
All right, so at 100, not bad. All right, let's lob a couple into 2.
You hit about a foot and a half below the target. Oh, that was way low below the target. That was like 3 feet. Come up a little more, about a foot. Still just a little low. There you go. Got it. About a foot high. Got it. Just a little high. You got it.
Where did those last 3 land?
Well, you had one hit pretty low, kind of on the right side, and then the last 2 stacked up in the upper right corner. So, you got your point of aim there?
Yeah, I think so. Oh man, all right, we're going for, screw it, we're gonna go for 3.
All right, you going for the 22 or the half size?
Give me the 22.
All right, I can see that round pretty well.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna lob one in.
All right, run it. Oh, okay. You hit you hit in the berm. You're about
foot over the top.
No, you're a little bit low and to the right. You kind of hit in between the 8-inch popper and the 22-inch round. So.
Oh man, here we go. All right.
All right, run it. Okay, now that was way low and right. Work your way up. You're still low and right. You hit the 8-inch. All right, you're right in between the 8-inch popper and the 22-inch round. You hit on the right side of the 8-inch popper. You know, I think it's hitting that limb up there, Eric, because they're going all over the place.
You're right. Yeah, I think we could be clipping the tree limb.
Try the 20. Try the
it's minute of tree limb.
Yeah, try the half size D28 there in the dirt.
All right.
All right. Did you see the dirt?
Yeah.
Just low right. All right, that was just a touch low, but it was about a foot left of the target. Ooh, like 2 inches away from the target. Oh, like right over the top of him by the shoulder. Oh, ding. There it is. You're like hovering right around it, man. That was right over the top of the...
It puts them in there, you know. The thing about that short rigid barrel is really neat. And guys, bear in mind too, this is really kind of a fluke sort of thing. We're just doing this just to see the capabilities of the gun. You're definitely in like suppressive fire mode at like 200 or 300 yards with a pistol caliber carbine. It's still interesting to see what it can do though. That's just sick.
The drop on those bullets is just ridiculous.
Oh, I know, it's great. Let's see.
Yeah, I didn't even see that one. You're favoring in the top right corner there. Shooting a good group overall. It's like 6 inches.
Hey, not bad. 200-yard work, I'll take that all day long. Well guys, hopefully you enjoyed this first look here at this gun. This is not really intended to be a complete review, but we do have a few pistols on the way we're going to be having a little bit more in-depth look at. Expect some minor design changes to kind of roll down. This is still a very new gun, both for their company and really just for the world period, because I don't know of anybody that makes a short stroke gas piston type pistol caliber carbine based around an AR type platform. So, you know, like I said, it's really special to see something truly new in the AR realm. But I think innovation is something that really drives the industry, and I think that's one of the awesome things about it, is what really separates the folks that are just trying to go through the motions and the people that are really trying to truly make something new. I think that that's a very special thing about the firearms industry, and that's what's awesome for the end user as well. When the end user sees all of the competition in the industry and all of the people that are trying to really shoot for your business, you know, no pun intended, but they're really going for your business, a lot of these companies are coming up with some really next level stuff in order to earn your business. And I think that is something that we really haven't seen in the firearms industry in recent years up until now. There's so many different products out there and there's so many different manufacturers that everybody is really coming up with some next level stuff. And I think that's really cool. So we really wanted to show you guys this, get a first look at it. Thanks for watching today's video. Much more on the way, guys. More 5 guns, more gripes, plenty of other things on the way, more gun reviews and first looks. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.